Are we live? I think we're live. Hey, hi, hello, and good afternoon. My name is Amanda, and welcome to Harmony Portal Tarot live. Yes, we are live. Happy Friday. All day today. Friday, I say. Hey, that rhymed. How is everybody? Check on in wherever it is that you, well, for me, it's this way, the chat box, this way. Oh, my dog's downstairs barking. How is everybody? Check on in. Take a quick drink of water. I've just been thirsty, y'all. Thirsty, and not that kind of thirsty. This kind of thirsty. Yes. I don't know if it's these solar flares or what, but yeah, I've even had like weird spine pain and kind of a headache. Not quite a migraine, but this is kind of the headache I get when there's a lot of solar activity. So I don't know if anyone else is feeling a certain type of way with that. But if you are, you're not alone. Those solar flares are no joke. They cause all sorts of cool and maybe not so cool things, but I say one of the cool things is the Northern Lights, or are the Northern Lights, whatever's grammatically correct. Yeah, which are really beautiful, but it's usually when things are just really popping off with the sun that we get that going on. All right, so today we're going to be doing a free one card pull using the Soul Truth. Yes, there it is, written right there, Soul Truth Oracle. Oh, you just got home making lunch. Awesome. Well, welcome, Brandy Lynn. Yeah, we are kind of extending the reading from last Wednesday. Well, last Wednesday, like it was so long ago. It was like a day and a half ago, really. Wednesday night's live stream was all about healing, and then we did a cosmic question, and I just love that. I love the cosmic questions. We went in on the cosmic questions, and I have made a note for myself in my notes app on my calendar on my phone to make a playlist of all the cosmic questions, and I'm going to change the title of each live stream. Instead of saying free live tarot, one card pull, first 20 minutes, or whatever it is that I normally will label something as, I'll just delete all that and put the cosmic question as the title of that live stream. So and I might even go so far to make a new thumbnail, like last week, Wednesday's cosmic question had to do with the pyramids, so I might have the thumbnail reflect a pyramid and the text of what the question is, just so they're easy to find and access, and you can look through the thumbnails like, oh, I want to know about this topic or that topic or that topic, because I think we only have 4 or 5, I think about 5 live streams now where we've done a cosmic question, so it's not like a lot of work on my part to just go do that, and then to be able to keep up with it each time we have a new cosmic question, I can just pop that in that playlist, change the thumbnail, change the title, and we're good to go. Easily accessible to anyone new or old trying to access that playlist and each cosmic question. And I'll even timestamp the cosmic question so people won't have to go through the whole rigmarole of the entire live stream, which, some of these live streams can last 3-4 hours. I mean, usually trend closer to 2.5 hours these days, but back in the day, I even had a 6-hour live stream once. One time I remember hitting that 6-hour mark, and then a bunch of those really early ones were like 5 hours, 4 hours, 5.5 hours, like that. We're not trending that long these days, but yes. I would not want someone to have to wade through a 6-hour live stream just to find the cosmic question. I will timestamp it. Hello, Suncease, welcome. I love that you'll put all the cosmic cues in a single video. Yay! Not so much a video, but a playlist. That way you can access each one. And of course, pinned at the top of the chat is the timestamp to go directly to that question. And of course, any other timestamps, like Wednesday night, I also timestamped Amber's reading, but it's clearly labeled Amber's reading. So if you don't want to watch Amber's reading, you can click the timestamp for Banana Anna S's suggestion of the cosmic question about who built the pyramids, what are the purpose of the pyramids, and then just who knows what else we'll uncover. I probably can't fit everything we uncovered in the title or the thumbnail, but at least if someone's interested in the initial cosmic question, then wherever that cosmic question leads, hopefully they'll also be interested in that. You know what I mean? Hi, Kimberly. Welcome. Good to have you here. So we have 6 people. It's about 5 minutes into the live stream. Why not get started? And we don't have any donations thus far. So whoever is first to donate, you will move right to the top of the list, and we will take care of your personal question at any point after we are done with the free 1-card pull for everybody. And if we do not have any donations after we're done with the 1-card pull, we will move into the cosmic questions. And I think we didn't even take new cosmic questions. I just went and pulled because I think we have quite a decent amount, but I might take one new cosmic question. And if your cosmic question doesn't get picked to be put in today and you really want to answer it at some point, just kind of hold on to it and present it next time. And I only am doing that just so we don't get overloaded with questions, or, it takes me 15 to 20 minutes to write out all the new questions you guys might want to put in here. You know what I mean? Just to kind of keep things rolling, keep things smooth. Hi, Terry. Welcome, welcome. Good to have you here. And if you're wondering what the hell is a cosmic question, Amanda, get to the point. So a cosmic question is a question that some sort of mysterious occult conspiracy theory, mainstream media, pop culture, something you want to get to the truth of or know more about. If you think you know the truth of it, maybe you want to know a deeper aspect of it or something. Lots of questions come to mind as far as what you could choose for that. And we already have quite a little handful of amazing questions that you guys have already submitted. And I'm super, this is I think this is my favorite thing about the live streams, besides you guys. I mean, you guys are obviously my favorites, but this is so fun for me. I love it. Hello, Marlene. Welcome. Good to see you. I hope you all have a wonderful, happy weekend. Anyone have any fun plans? I don't know that I do, but those sometimes are my best and favorite weekends because I can do some deep cleaning around my house. I can do some shamanic journeying without feeling like I'm rushed for time to get to someone's basketball game or to, run kids home, either home or from school or to school. Not that I'm complaining about that. I love that. I love being a mom and all that, but there's something really awesome about having time to just do and be what you want, And I think, especially those of us that are busy with a lot of other people and stuff, it's important to carve out time and schedules for us to just do nothing or do things that we enjoy, just even if it has nothing to do with being productive or, hustling, grinding, getting us to that next level. Sometimes just taking that break and just being in your creative flow can take you to that next level. I mean, it really can. So do not underestimate the power of a really good night's sleep or just a day of relaxation, recuperation, restoration, doing the things you enjoy, working on things that really are of no consequence as far as, having to produce any kind of result. Sometimes these are the best things we can do to really fill our cup up so that when it is time to produce results or be at that place or take that action or do that thing, we are showing up with our cup just overflowing and ready to rock it. So yes, we got to balance all of that doing with some being and resting. Kimberly's having a relaxing weekend in, the best. Although I do like to go, I usually drive just a slight bit away from my house to take some walks. I actually do have a public walking path right along one side of my fence line. So it's not like I really have to go anywhere special to walk. I can just literally leave my house and walk up or down the hill and have this whole trail system all around town to do that. But sometimes I like to get out of my own neighborhood, But there is something just so restorative for me about just being in my own home and not having this pressure to know that, okay, at this time today I have to be over here, and then after that we got to be over here. I love those times and days sometimes too, but there's just something so it just fills my heart with happiness to know that there's no rush. I don't have to be anywhere the rest of today or tomorrow, not until Monday. It just feels so good. Just sigh of relief arena. Heck yeah. All right. Yeah, nature walk. Oh, it's the best. And even if it is starting to get cold like it is here, if the sun's out and just feeling that little bit of warmth, like I'm always dressing in layers anyway, even in the summer. So I'm just like, let's bring it on. As long as my hands and feet are warm, I'm usually pretty good. But if the second my hands and feet get cold, I'm like, well, I think it's time to take this party inside. Can't really do that when it's soccer or baseball or football that the kids are playing outdoors. You kind of need to be outdoors for that. Oh, I forgot. Well, good thing I didn't forget completely. I did have a bit of show and tell if you guys want to see. Wu Tang Tea is here. Hello, my dear. Good to see you. It's been a minute. But yes, we have Rockin' Ladies. This is this cool local store here in town that I was talking to you guys about a few live streams back. I went in there with Wrigley the other day, and of course, because that's where I got this incense. And I'm like, I'm getting a little light on this. I want to, before I run out, I want to get some more. But I got a different kind this time. Myrrh. I got myrrh. This is my first time ever getting myrrh incense. But you know, it's one of frankincense and myrrh were the two of the gifts given to baby Jesus, right? So, and there really is, and you know, that's the underlying energy of myrrh is about healing, cleansing and healing. I love it. Yeah, that's their logo. But it's just fun. So I thought we would light one of these up and just set some intentions for healing, cleansing, clearing. And then of course, you guys know me and all my shamanic journeys, and I've been keeping them, you know, in my trusty little notes app on my phone, which is great. You know, it's very handy. It's usually not too far away, but there's just something so magic and also therapeutic about actually writing out your journal entries or, you know, whatever happened in your shamanic journey or your meditation. So I got myself a whole new shamanic journey journal to document all my journeys. So I'm probably going to have to go in before I write new journeys that I'm doing in and kind of transcribe all of my typed out notes. But it's got like silver gilding on the pages. I mean, it's just so shamanic. I mean, I saw this and I'm like, wow. And it's got little silver kind of gilded details here, which, yes, please. We've got a nice little, I don't know, Eden, a Garden of Eden looking or paradise looking thing going on with some unicorns and some people. I don't know. It just drew me in and I'm like, wow, I need that. And with the price of everything these days, I think, yeah, they did the set suggested retail price was $15.99. And it's by Peter Popper Press. So I'm sure if they're selling this in stores, you could probably find it online. If you were just like, oh my God, I need that. I'm sure you could probably find it online somewhere, or maybe your local gift shop or store, bookstore has it in stock. You never know. They're always cycling these things in and out of stores and online. So if you want to check it out, Peter Popper Press, and it's $15.99. So yeah, unicorns and rainbows. You might like this. There's unicorns on here. Look at these cute little unicorns. Oh, and over here, no rainbows that I can see. Well, this is almost like Northern Lights kind of rainbows, and this lighting is not doing this justice. Like the blue is really coming out pretty true to color, but the green, yeah, the green's coming out pretty good, but it's really not picking up the really subtle kind of pinks and purples the way that they're like, this is so beautiful. Like all through here are some pinks and purples that you're just not seeing on camera. Darn it. It's just so fun. And it's kind of, I don't know if you can tell by the lighting situation, but it's embossed kind of. So it like sticks out above the paper. So it's like very tactile. I'm a very touch-oriented person, and even in my human design, like my main sense is touch. I gotta touch like at crystal shops. I gotta touch everything. You know all those signs. Please do not touch. But I gotta touch. Yeah. So if you're someone who just loves that tactile, it's very soft, but also has that kind of embossed, raised feeling to it. So I love this. So. And then the inside just got kind of some stars. And of course the pages are kind of a creamy, not quite yellow, but more of a beige cream color, probably more than just a full white, which I actually prefer because this is like white. Again, this lighting is not helping at all. But something about just a slightly warmer toned paper that really does it for me rather than just start bright white. So anyway, enough about that. Let's light up some myrrh, frankincense, not frankincense, myrrh incense. It smells so good. Love it. And this is This is not a locally made one like the one I got last time I was at Rockin' Rudy's. This is local, well, at least Montana made. This is not, I don't think, Laguna, California. So this one comes from California. But we're going to light this one up with the intention of cleansing, clearing, healing. Weekend ahead. Let us let go of, release the limiting beliefs that are maybe standing in our way, or any entity, attachment, interference, past trauma, past wounds that are standing in our way of our highest good and highest truth and alignment. Oh, it smells so good. All right. So we're going to let that do its thing in the background, and we are going to catch up on comments, and then we're going to get into the free one card pull. 15 minutes in. We're finally getting to it. All right. Yeah, the inside. Yeah, it is lined paper. And I do prefer lined paper when it's going to be straight up for actually writing out my shamanic journeys that I do. I do prefer the lined paper for that. But then there are other times I prefer it just to be plain paper that I can, put a drawing here or use more as like a bullet journal style thing. Or sometimes they may have like a grid paper kind of going on. That's always nice. It's nice to have choices between this, and this. Peter Popper Press has such gorgeous journals. I have a mermaid one and a dragon one. Ooh, I bet those are cool. I know I had heard of these before, but I'd never owned one myself that I know of. And I've owned many a journal over the years. To head out for about 15 minutes, kind of a card pull. Yes. Absolutely. All right. Also love the Kuromi hat. Yes. I love it as well. I'm maybe not quite as Hello Kitty obsessed as, say, Sarah Cannon, who Brandy Lynn knows who she is here on YouTube, but I do love Kuromi. She's so fun. She to me, seems very misunderstood. She really speaks to my Pluto directly on my ascendant. We'll just put it that way. I love it. The anti-hero. All right, here we go. So let's start with Linda. She may still be here. But we'll just start out at Linda, and it's 1723. So hopefully she can get this. Okay, for Linda, in alignment with Linda's true spirit, what is the soul truth Linda is working on? Okay. On whom am I placing blame right now? So we'll just read it out. A person who blames others has not begun their lesson. A person who blames themselves has begun their lesson. Has begun their lesson. And a person who blames no one has finished their lesson. Ooh, I love that. And then it says today's soul action. Take responsibility. On whom are you placing blame right now? Today, free yourself by releasing all victimhood, blame, and resistance. They don't belong where you are going. Only love and courage live there. Make a choice to do it, even if you don't feel ready. Listen to your heart. You will be held. And one of the biggest things I'm really working through is my own personal traumas. And that might be, this person traumatized me in this way, and this situation traumatized me in that way. And, we can sit there and just spin our wheels and just really get stuck in being a victim to that person that said that one thing to me that one time, or, my house burning down at 13, horrible situation, which no one was at fault. It was maybe there was entity interference for all I know, but as far as a fault or who's to blame, there's really no blame to place that we can point to in the material world, because it was a malfunctioning lamp. The electrical just malfunctioned and sparked out somehow and caused a fire. But overcoming, moving through, no longer being a victim to old traumas. So that's what you're working on. I said lurking at first. Lurking, maybe that's what's lurking for you to be working on, Linda. All right. So for everybody else who wants a card, put a 777 in the chat, and we're going to take care of you as well. Get you a card and see what it is that what truth your soul is trying to reveal to you. All right. And so far, we don't have any donations. So after this, if there are no donations, we're going to move into our next cosmic question. Unicorns and rainbows. Let's get your card. Here it is. Am I focused on what I want most? That's the thing. What I'm getting is so many of us are focused on what we don't want. Like, complaining all day long. I'm guilty. I've complained my fair share in this world during these times as well. Like it happens. It's just almost like automatic default for so many people. But when I catch myself, that's the beauty of it is you catch yourself. Oh, I've been complaining a lot today. And instead of, putting the blame here or shifting it over there, it's about bringing it back and saying, let's instead, let's not spiritually bypass because there's a reason we're complaining. We're feeling some resistance. We're feeling a trigger. We're feeling not heard, not seen, not aligned for some reason. So it's not to say just completely spiritually bypass, turn it off, but to face it, move through it, and then shift the focus to what you want, unicorns and rainbows. But I'll read the back for you as well. One reason so few of us achieve what we truly want is that we never direct our focus. We never concentrate our power. Most people dabble their way through life, never deciding to master anything in particular. And that's a quote by Tony Robbins on the back. So today's soul action is what you focus on grows. Today, ask yourself, is my life a reflection of my values or do I need to make some adjustments? And it's about prioritizing what you want most, putting that above all the other to-dos on your list. All right, so that was for unicorns and rainbows. Oh, you saw 777 recently. That's so cool. Tia's phone number ends in 777. That's so cool. I got a lot of 8s and 2s in my phone number, which is interesting because I was born in 1982 on April 28th. 8228. I love 2s and 8s. And I love 7s. 7s is my life path number, so gotta bring that in. Kimberly! All right, what does Kimberly need to know as far as soul truth? In alignment with her true spirit for Kimberly. We have, am I clear on what my soul really wants? Very similar to Unicorns and Rainbows message, but let's read the back. Take out the shoulds and the limitations. Get out of your head and pay attention to your heart's desire instead. If you knew it was impossible to fail, what would you do? Wherever you go, go with all your heart. And that kind of brings me to that realization too of, they say, well, if you had all the money in the world and time and money were no object, what would you do with your time or, your life? What would you do? Where would you direct your energy? Would you be helping others? Would you be buying a yacht? Not that any of these things are wrong or right, but like, what would you actually do if money were no object? And another thing for people is if time were no object, because so many people are like, well, I might have the money to do these things, but I don't have the time because I'm out there making the money, or I'm out there doing this, or I'm out there doing that. So it really is about becoming into alignment with what your soul really wants. So today's soul action for Kimberly is ask yourself what it is that your soul really wants. What does your heart crave? And then take one step in that direction. You do not have to quantum leap there overnight unless you're going to work really hard and choose to do that. That's totally your prerogative. But usually the biggest changes in life come as a series of tiny, even like micro baby steps toward that next action, that next action, that next action. And before you know it, you've made so much progress. If you are someone that wants to just jump head first, both feet off the ground, head first into it, then do that. But if you're someone who change is hard for, then baby steps are going to get you there. Maybe not as quickly, but just as thoroughly for sure. And maybe even at sometimes that slow and steady pace usually does create a more solid foundation than something that just happens overnight and just falls apart because you don't have the resources or the structure in place to handle everything that just changed. All right, so that was for Kimberly. Michelle, welcome. It's good to see you. Let's get Michelle a card. What's her soul's truth today? What is her spirit trying to convey to her for Michelle? Okay, what am I looking for outside myself that is already within me? And one of the biggest things that most people, not all, but most people in this realm look for outside of themselves that's already within themselves is that sense of like acceptance or external validation or looking for someone to complete them in a relationship. Doesn't always have to be romantic, but usually it is. But for Michelle specifically, are you looking for more guidance, confidence, peace, wisdom, love, or something else? When we search outside ourselves, we can become overwhelmed, frustrated, and never feel quite good enough. It's time to go inward and find everything you seek. All answers you need lie within you. And one of the best ways that I've personally found is through shamanic journeying And I never know exactly, like, and there may be times that I'm like, okay, I'm going to go do a shamanic journey to, accomplish this thing or heal that thing. And sometimes, most of the time, whatever I set as an intention at the beginning completely, it's kind of like the cosmic questions. It's like, yeah, maybe we touch on that, but then it blossoms and expands into something so much bigger that I didn't even know I needed for healing, for, overcoming my own demons or, whatever it is. So going within, doing meditation, doing a shamanic journey, whatever resonates most for you, doing some journaling, doing some self-care to really put you in alignment with the fact that you already are that which you seek outside of you. You really are. And it says today's soul action: breathe in your favorite essential oil, inhale deeply into your belly, drop your shoulders, and spend some time hanging out with your soul today. Ask for what you need and be ready for the answers. And that's another thing I do a lot of times is I will, ask for help from my spirit. And then I will just start looking for signs, just not like actively looking, but just being very open and aware to everything, including like a text message that comes in or whatever. This is from Mosey Tea. New limited releases here, Autumn Spice. So I don't know if you're sipping on some tea or tea being, let's spill the tea. But there's a message out there in everything. These universes are so intricate and coded with information at our fingertips. So maybe what it is that you are seeking out there, you will find, and also you're finding it within yourself. All right, that was for Michelle. Let's get Wu-Tang Tia. Woo, here it is. What passion am I ready to pursue? This feels very creative for you, Tia. So there's something creative. It feels very aesthetic, very beautiful. Something about beauty possibly, or just wanting to level up your internal, external beauty practices, whatever that looks like. But it says here, your passions will continually lead you to your purpose. What passions have you put to the side, given up on, or buried? What passion is ready to come alive in you? Again, you will know what that is. Even if you don't know it right now, just ask your spirit for signs in your, external world, internal world, your thoughts, your dreams, and you'll start to see patterns. You may see a thing here and wonder, well, is that my sign? And if you're unsure, just kind of hold the phone, hold on and wait a bit, because another sign will come along and another sign will come along. And eventually you're going to start to see patterns in your dreams, in your thoughts, in the world, in your relationships, in whatever it is. You're going to see patterns, and the patterns are usually a greater indicator than any one-off event, symbol, synchronicity. Usually if it comes to you at least 3 times, with beyond a shadow of a doubt, it's for you, or that's your message for sure. But if it only comes once and you still in the depths of your spirit know that that was a sign for you, please take it as a sign. But usually us humans, it takes us, a little bit to get it through our thick skull. And usually it's 3 or more times that spirit or the universe aligns to bring us the signs and stuff we need for us to finally start believing in ourselves or in the signs. But anyway, it says today's soul action: write a list of the passions to which you want to give life to right now. Then journal how you can incorporate more of what you are passionate about into your daily life. Trust your soul's whispering and let your passions draw you toward your dream life. Beautiful message there for you, Tia. I love it. All right. So Michelle De Leon is here. Welcome, my dear. Good to see you. Kimberly says, love that for me, doing what I love every day, luckily, but there's always room for more joy. Absolutely. I love that you're honoring what you enjoy. I love that, because so many people are like, well, that would be nice. Or as my husband says a lot, must be nice. I'm like, it is nice, because I'm prioritizing my own mental and spiritual, emotional, and physical health. So it is nice, because I'm not sacrificing to the level I was, maybe when my kids were really little. I'm like, no, I'm going to take that me time, because it's so important for all of us to be happy and thrive. All right. So let's see. Oh, my nose is itchy. Hi, Air Energy. Welcome. Let's see. Did I skip the chat? What's going on? I must have skipped someone. There's Michelle. Michelle De Leon. Let's get Michelle De Leon a message. What else is soul truth her spirit is trying to convey? Michelle De Leon. From whom can I release my judgment right now? And this might include yourself, funny enough. But let's read the back. It says, judgment closes our hearts to truth and separates us from love. It blinds us to our fear and holds us in shame. On whom are you placing judgment right now? Is it someone in your life? Is it yourself? Yep, knew that. I felt that. Release the shackles, drop the expectations, and be grateful for what is. So especially if you are beating yourself up for, like, oh, I did that again, and I told myself I'd never do that again, or I should have seen the signs, or even if it's something that you would never be upset that someone else would do, because you would give them that grace and consideration that, oh yeah, no, we all make mistakes, but when it comes to you, you're like, so cutthroat with your own self, like, talking crap about yourself, like, why can't you just be perfect? Yeah, I've been there, like, recovering perfectionist right here. So I totally get it. I've been in this energy many times too. The way that I have talked to myself within my own energy, I would never talk to someone I loved like that. And I'm trying to learn that self-love every single day, even more. But it says, today's soul action for Michelle De Leon: look at the person you are judging as if you are looking at a small child. See them learning and growing, falling down and making mistakes. See their desire to be loved and accepted, and even more grace to open your heart to this truth. When I lift the judgment from myself and others, I uncover my own truth. I am loved, I am whole, I am limitless, and so are they. I love that. Enough said. I don't think I even need to elaborate on that. All right. So it's 4/28/82, actually. 4/28/1982. Yeah, not August 2nd as in 82, but 4/28/82. Yeah. Oh, Bruno Mars has a song titled 777. I did not know that. I've heard a few Bruno Mars songs. That Talking to the Moon song, is that by Bruno Mars? I want to say it is. I like that song. I always sing it to my dogs. But I changed the lyrics to include them. I do that for many songs, and I do the same thing for my kids. I'm that weirdo that does that. I love weirdos. Yeah. Always looking for signs, and later on in life I realize I'm colorblind sometimes. Oh, I think we all can be for some way. For some way we can totally be that way. It's what I keep asking myself. Facts or cycles. I think life is in a 4-year increments. Oh, interesting. Yes, Linda, I started with yours. So if you want to just scrub on back, I did yours first, and then right after you was Unicorns and Rainbows card. All right, if anyone else is joining us and would like me to pull you a free Soul Truth card today, put a 777 in the chat. Yeah, I think it was a 17-minute and 30, 50 some seconds timestamp, somewhere in there. But for sure, the first part of it was 17 minutes. So if you want to calculate, we're 32 minutes in, almost 33 minutes into this live stream, subtract 7, well, I don't know, it doesn't really work that way because you have to be finished. So I guess it doesn't. Did I not get yours? Okay, see, I'm skipping people left and right. I apologize. Our chat's just slightly more active than normal. Oh, and I skipped Marlene and Sunseas. I just skipped a whole swath of you guys. Okay, so I see Marlene, Sunseas, Brandy Lynn, then Tia. So it went Tia and then Tia again. I think that's how, because I saw 2 from Tia, so I thought, oh, I already did hers, and then I just skipped all y'all. So I apologize. Let me get Marlene. We'll get Marlene, then Sunseas, then Brandy Lynn. That's the order I see them in. I just had to scroll back up the chat. So apologies, ladies. All right, Marlene. Let's get a Marlene card. Let's get Marlene a card, a Soul Truth card. What she needs to know right now in alignment with her true spirit. What else could this mean? So something that you thought meant one thing could actually mean something completely different. It's like I just heard the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So, and I also heard one man's trash is another man's treasure. So I don't know if either of those mean something to you about what could this mean, but let's see. There are always multiple ways to look at every situation. Our first reaction is usually rooted in our fears and limiting beliefs. Unless you're that person who has that intuition that hits first before the fears come in, I would caveat that, because some people do actually have the very first instinctual impression as trusting their intuition, and then others, fears come in first. So you kind of have to nuance that with where you feel you operate. For you, Marlene. But it says our first reaction is usually rooted in our fears and limiting beliefs. Look at the situation today by stepping outside of the trigger and ask, what else could this mean? So this is something that's currently or in the near future going to be triggering you. I don't feel like this is some big fly off the handle trigger, but just at the very least, it's annoyance. Something that's triggering your annoyance. But the soul action, it says, is there something your soul is calling you to learn in this moment? Or is there a pattern? And again, usually when things are repetitive, that's when it gets through our thick skull, like, oh, this is something my spirit's asking me to look at. The reason I keep being triggered by this one specific person or this one specific thing in a relationship that we, maybe we're doing good and then we hook into this weird energy and then we're back on a downward spiral. Whatever that thing is, there's something you're being asked to learn to be able to move through that. So is there something your soul is calling you to learn in this moment? Or is there a pattern that's ready to be broken? Walk in the other person's shoes and see it from their perspective. If it doesn't involve someone else, ask yourself, how is life happening for me right now? Yeah. All right. So that was from Arlene. So let's get to Suncease. Let's get to Suncease. All right. Is this one upside down? No, it's right side up. All right. A soul truth message for Suncease in alignment with their true spirit. Here we go. How can I surrender even more in this moment? And surrender can be a very scary word when we are triggered or when we are feeling just not our best. Surrendering to a situation that we don't feel comfortable in. Surrendering to the fact that it is what it is. But it's not that fatalistic surrender where you just give up and, all hope is lost and I guess this is my life. I'm a victim. No, not that kind of surrender. But sometimes it's just taking a surrendering to the moment that, okay, these are the circumstances. This is what's going on. Maybe I don't have complete control of the situation, but I do have complete control over how I'm responding or reacting to said situations. And I also have the power to shift or change it some way, somehow, because you're also, playing in these energies. So it says, it is essential to have clear, strong intentions of what we desire, but it's equally important for us to detach from the outcome. It's time to surrender, let the universe have some breathing room to work, let go of the wheel, and trust so deeply that your trust turns into gratitude for what you cannot see yet, but is coming. Today's soul action. Know this, you are so deeply that your, oh my gosh, I can't read. Know this so deeply that your soul vibrates. You are not alone. Your life has purpose, and the more you surrender, the more God or whatever deity you look to, the original source creator, your own spirit, whatever that is for you, can produce miracles in your life. And today's mantra is, I surrender, I accept all that I cannot change, and I release the outcome, and I joyfully trust the process. But again, this does not mean you have no power here. It just means that, we're all co-creators here. We don't have the full reins of anything, usually. But we can take more of our power back by saying no to certain things that are boundary violations. So that is a very solid way you can take your power back. All right. So Marlene, Suncease, now Brandy Lynn. Let's get Brandy Lynn a card. A soul truth in alignment with her true spirit. What does Brandy Lynn need to know? And we have here, how can I be more kind to myself and offer more grace in this very moment? I don't think we've had any repeats today. So everybody's kind of on their own little journey here. I love that. So for Brandy Lynn, it says, growing our self-love is medicine to this world's broken heart. When you heal, we all heal. When you give yourself more grace, you are able to give the world more grace. So the soul action is, look at yourself with a grace filter. You are meant to be in this moment of your life. Release the inner critic and fill that role with your soul's truth that you are infinite, you are loved, and you are already there. Isn't there like a country song? It's like, I'm already there. Have you heard that one before? Take a look around. You know that song? Is that by Rascal Flatts? I don't know. That's what's coming to my mind. Let me look it up. For some reason it's important. So I'm gonna look. Let's see. I want to say it's Rascal Flatts, but let's see. It's important. So it's Lone Star, which I always get those two confused. Yeah. So if you want to listen to that or read the lyrics, that can be your homework if you want it. your mission should you choose to accept. But also, you are already there, meaning there is a future timeline, a future version of you in a future now moment that has already accomplished all the things that you are maybe stressing about right now, or wondering, how the heck am I going to make this thing happen? Or what does this path even look like for me? Probably having to do with your creative pursuits is my guess. But if there's anything in your day-to-day life that is also like, I don't know what's going on here. I just smile and nod and I don't know what's going on. Just be kind to yourself through any kind of transitions or changes or shifts that are going on, either in your household, in your internal world, in your town, in your country, whatever it looks like exactly for you. All right. Did I get everybody now? I'm going to go all the way down and check, make sure. Yes. Okay. Oh, yes. I did get yours, Marlene. Eventually, I got to it. My inner critic, excuse you? Yeah, I know the song. I thought it was before Rascal Flatts' time. It might have been. Now that we know it was Lone Star. But I always get those two bands confused for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm not like the world's biggest country buff. I mean, there's a country song here and there that I just adore. We're talking like 80s Randy Travis, way back, like Ricky Van Shelton. I Cried My Last Tear for You by Ricky Van Shelton. Really a classic in my opinion. What else? I don't know. Just lots of Ray Stevens, the Squirrel Revival song. Oh my gosh, hilarious. But I don't even know if that's considered country. But yeah, just I have some fond memories of, because the only working radio station in my town I grew up in was a local country station. So I was kind of forced to listen to country, and then my mom loved country, so we were kind of forced at times to listen to country. So I, of course, have a place in my heart, but it's not my genre of choice, I guess we can say. So, yes. Although, once in a while, a country song will come along that I'm like, ooh, yes, I love this. Like, oh gosh, Nickel Creek, When You Come Back Down, love that song. Anything by Alison Krauss, I'm there. But hers is more bluegrass than country, so maybe that's my excuse. Who else? Oh gosh. The Bury Me in Satin, Lay Me Down on a Bed of Roses, Sink Me in the River at Dawn. Whoever sings that song. It's a group with a lead singer lady, and oh gosh. I cannot think of the name off the top of my head. I love Nickel Creek. Oh my god. Again, though, they give me more bluegrass vibes or like indie music. I don't know. But there's a cringe. I was reading here. There's a tinge of country within that as well, though. And I think they might be, I don't know if they're considered bluegrass or country, but Amber's here. You're not too late. Put a 777. We'll get you a card. Learning to embrace the cringe is a daily thing. I grew up in country, so I'm familiar. There's some goodies there. Yeah, for sure. I do have that place in my heart for some country songs. No, you're not too late at all. Let's get it going. All right, let's get Kashvi a card to start. A soul truth for Kashvi in alignment with her true spirit. And we have here, to whom am I comparing myself right now? And I think this really is about comparing herself maybe to other kids at school, not feeling worthy, not feeling good enough. But she is so worthy. She is so good. But it says here, what you are able to see in another is only visible because it is within you, ready to be brought out. Shine light on this feeling of not enough and see the truth. All you need and want is within you. And then today's soul action. Stop comparing and start creating. Which is hard, especially when you're a youngster and you see all these people around you maybe getting recognized for this, or they have a big group of friends and I feel left out. And, it's just such a hard time growing up. It's so hard. So don't give up. You have very unique and amazing abilities, talents. Just you being you is a huge gift to this world, Kashvi. So keep doing it. Keep being you. And take the fact that you really wish you could be like this other girl or this group of friends over here, or, that one boy that's like so smart. The reason that you feel less than them in some way is because you already have whatever it is that you're seeking through being like them. It's already within you. All right, let's get Amber a card. Oh, she is feeling like that. Oh no. And that's, again, it's not a fun way to feel. This fell into my lap, Amber. So it says, does my life have more room for pleasure and play? So hopefully certain things are falling into your lap, meaning they're just coming into your path without you having to force it or try to make something happen. Things or instances or situations or events where you're able to have more pleasure in your life or play, just having way more fun, really stepping into that vibration of joy, which is, like Raylene says, some people are actually allergic to having fun. Some people are allergic to having joy, or they can feel that way on their own, but then they get in a group of people and they feel almost like embarrassed or just like, oh, I don't want to smile too big. What if someone makes fun of my teeth or my gum line or, all the things that maybe start in childhood and then they follow us into adulthood until we really get to the root cause of them. And then we just say, I don't care. I mean, if someone's triggered that I'm laughing and just having a good time, that says a lot more about them than it says about me. So there might be something like that. But it says, in what area are you lacking pleasure right now? Maybe in a certain relationship or with work? Is it possible to shift the serious of life to experience a more creative, wild, and playful side of you? I think I need this message just as much as you do. Maybe that's why it literally fell into my lap as well. So I'm not trying to take this from you, but I wanna, kind of like the embryo that splits into twins. Like no one's lacking for anything. They each have kind of their own thing going on, but they started from the same card. Like that's what I'm seeing here. I love that. But it says today's soul action. What would happen if you added more play and laughter into your life? What area is lacking this right now? Take time to play. Let go of the need to produce anything. And sometimes, some of the greatest, quote unquote, photography or photos that I've taken, or paintings that I've painted, or drawings that I made were just because I was in my heart and wanting to produce something, not to show this person or post it on Facebook or to whatever, but I did it just for me or just for, whoever it is I was doing the photo for. And those have been some of my best works that I've ever created. And a lot of that stuff that I have created, I don't even show publicly because it means too much to me that I don't want someone to come in and be like, oh, well, that ain't so great, and try to take the win for my sales. So I just would never have posted it. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, and maybe you are creating something from this source of pleasure and play that is your great masterpiece that you are then posting, and then somehow everybody wants a piece of it. Or let me order one like that. It could lead to your greatest inspiration, just doing it for fun without that having to produce anything. Yeah, I feel like so many times your messages really are for the collective, which is so good. I love that. There's a group of family and friends in this community that already have strong bonds, and she feels less than them when they don't include us. Aw, yeah. Confidence comes from not success, but from surviving failure. Interesting quote I heard today. I like that. Wow. Yeah, that makes so much sense, though. Yeah, because so many of us have failed and failed. And Purnavasu Moon over here, return to the light. Do it, fail. Do it, fail. Do it, fail. And if you keep doing it enough times, eventually she will succeed. Apparently, I have not done the YouTube thing enough to finally and eventually succeed. And I don't know that I want to. I'm good. I've come to this sense of surrender that it is what it is. The fact that we have this tiny little niche community here, it means everything to me. So I love that for us. Probably I am being asked to be a bit of a couch potato. Yes. And also do the things that bring you joy. And sometimes what I do, and this I think goes in alignment with my ADHD brain, that it's hard for me unless I have a very specific intention for like a shamanic journey or whatever. I'm like always multitasking or always trying to double duty my time to, accomplish or make things happen. But even in my quote unquote downtime, I might be listening to an audiobook or a YouTube video that's like a longer one. So I'm not constantly being distracted to have to, find the next thing to listen to or whatever. But usually it's an audiobook through my Libby app. And I'll click on that and just listen to it for hours as I'm also doing some adult coloring in the coloring books with some markers. Or if I'm physically reading a book, usually I can just focus on that one thing. Or I like to pair up reading a book with taking a bath, so I'm kind of a double duty joy maker. I don't know. I don't know if that's even the thing, but but usually if I'm physically having to read a book, that's more than enough stimulation. I'm holding it, I'm reading it, it's processing in my brain that I feel like I'm making things happen. But if it's an audiobook, I'm restless, I got to do something else with my hands, you know? It reminds me that it's okay to fail. I love that. Yeah, that is such a great reminder. I've been on a cleaning spree since Wednesday. Initially, it was to accept the results, knowing there will be more racism due to us being immigrants. No one cares that we are legally here. Yeah. Ugh. Don't even get me started on that. I feel so bad about all of that. Just the whole thing just makes my heart hurt so bad. Yeah. Also to let go of the emotions coming up. Yeah, for sure. But I mean, if you look around the US, they don't all look like me. They don't. And that's the beauty of this place is it is such a, as I used to call it, a melting pot of all sorts of races, religions, creeds, walks of life that it makes it so, and I guess maybe having my moon and North Node in the ninth house of, foreign lands and other cultures, like I am obsessed with learning as much as I can about all the types of people and, just knowing what's going on and just loving everybody. And yeah, the color of her skin is literally due to the climate and geography. Exactly. And then, but you're born that way. And then you come to another geographical location. It's not like your body like chameleons to another, skin tone. It just, unless you tan easily, which no, I don't. So yeah, I know. And if people could really fathom the fact that they have most likely been every single race that's still out there, they would just it would all stop overnight. Be like, oh, this is a silly game we're playing. Because you don't see an orange cat saying, I'm not mating with that black cat. Or that, calico cat saying, ew, that gray cat is just too dull for me. Like, cats just vibe. Same with dogs, and other animals of other colors, different colors than each other. They're not out there like, ew, no. But like, I don't know. I just don't get it. It just does not compute with me. Even growing up in a very white predominant town, I was always just like watching like the Cosbys and just Family Matters and just any TV show that had people that did not look exactly like me. I was fascinated and I wanted to learn and I wanted to be friends with them and just, just don't get why people are so the way they are. Meaning the people who are, not very open-minded. That's who I'm pointing at right now. There's a point when Kashfi was 4 and she hated her skin color and wanted to be white. Aw, because of pushback she was getting at school. And, that's something that will stay until it's healed. And it's just, it's so sad. It's so unneeded, so unnecessary. This world, like, it's 2024, people. Let's get with the times. Let's get with it. If everybody looked exactly the same, do you know how boring that would be? Like, I would be so bored. I'd be like, okay, one of us needs to bring some beauty here. Like, this is just too dull for me. Yeah. I do not understand that hate, but maybe that's not my life path to try to understand that hate that these people have in their hearts for people who do not look and think and act exactly the way they do. I think that's what's so beautiful is having a variety of things and people and situations and cultures, and it's just, yeah. All right, we have a donation coming in from Marlene, so we're gonna hop to it. Yes, so Marlene, go ahead and post your question. Hello, why? Welcome. We do have a donation list. I just finished the free one card section of our live stream, so if you would like to get your question answered, you can send a donation. There are a few ways to do that. You can check the chat or the pinned comment. I think it's over here for you guys. I don't know. At the top of your chat. So we're going to wait for Marlene's question because she did pay for her donation over here. By the way, just to be on the lighter side, my energy did the quantum jump, but my body seems to still be hurting. Oh, no. Yeah, I wish your body could jump as well. I know. And that's the thing is the mental, spiritual, and emotional can shift on a dime. And then the body's like, wait for me. I'm coming home. I'm getting there. That's always the last thing to shift, which can be difficult when you are in pain and doing quantum shifting to move through the pain. It can be hard. Yeah. So, yeah, come back and at a future live stream. I usually will do only about the first 20 minutes free readings at the first 20 minutes. And I'll be live again on Wednesday next week. I'm not sure the time yet because I got to check the basketball schedule. It might be 6 p.m., might be 11 a.m., both mountain time though. But I'm usually live Wednesdays and Fridays, either 6 p.m. or 11 a.m. mountain time. I can never think of a specific question, just a general is okay. Okay, well, let's do it then. We're going to go into tarot. Now that it's light out, these cards are much easier to see in the light of day. So we're going to use this deck for Marlene. Just anything Marlene needs to know or be made aware of in her life. What does Marlene need to know? In alignment with her true spirit. Ooh, there's healing here. There's cleansing. There's clearing. There's moving on or moving through feeling a certain type of way, or maybe even a thought process. Maybe you've been having to really use your noggin, like at work or trying to figure out. I'm seeing like paperwork or something, and that's something I've been kind of working through. Is of course the job paperwork and all the stuff you need for my new job, but also my son Boston's high school registration papers. I'm like, that's a thick stack of papers I got to face now. So it might be something like that. If nothing's really coming up in your awareness about this, this could be like soul contracts that you are looking over, feeling into, and saying, yeah, I'm done with this. Especially like limiting beliefs or ways that you are feeling maybe financially strained or limited, and being able to just knock those soul contracts out so that you can bring in more abundance. But also, this is the internet card, the communication card, being able to talk through with somebody a maybe difficult scenario or situation and actually feel like you can move through it in a way that you're both feeling supported. Just having a tough conversation maybe with somebody. Could even be a child. You got, a child here in the boat with the lady. I know you got 3 of those. So it could be just having that one-on-one hard, difficult conversation with one of the kids. But yeah, just being very firm in your communication, not in a cold way, but just, okay, this is what we're establishing and this is what's expected of you. And just literally spelling out what it is you're hoping to communicate. Communicating very clearly, very clearly. I'm seeing also the Ace of Swords in my mind's eye. So lots of swords. So this is about communication. This is about your thought process, or how you're connecting with somebody. All right, what else does Marlene need to know? Ace of Wands. I was seeing Ace of Swords, but I guess Ace of Wands kind of gives us another flavor, though. This is about feeling inspired, maybe to have a tough conversation. And this doesn't even have to be as a result of, well, you did wrong, so now you're in trouble and I'm lecturing you. No, but this can be something sparked just by, the recent political shift or things going on in the world. And you're sitting your kids down to tell them some very important information about how to conduct themselves or what they can do in this scenario or that scenario to keep them safe, to keep them healthy, to keep them happy. Just having those tough conversations, and doesn't have to be the SEX conversation, but if that's kind of in the arena to need to be talked to about, of course, because we do have the phallic symbol here of Ace of Wands. So I don't know if that situation or conversation is on the cards for you with one of the kids, or let's see. What is this? Moving forward, being able to move forward, always in your own thoughts. Me too. I'm the same way. But you're going to be able to move forward with confidence through any tough love or just tough subject matter conversation, or even your own thoughts. Again, this can also be within your own thoughts. You're just kind of having to talk yourself through some pretty just treacherous thoughts that can pop up, but you're going to make your way through it. You're going to be able to move through it and come out clear on the other side. But this also is a pretty big shift in your thinking. And maybe you're catching yourself thinking or having those darker thoughts and you're like, no, let's shift it. Okay, let's honor the fact I'm having these darker thoughts. First and foremost, are these my thoughts? Are these dark thoughts my thoughts? Or are these entities just hooking into my trauma to make me feel like, oh, the world's going to end tomorrow? When in actuality, most likely it's not. Every day I've been alive in this life, the sun has come right back up the next day. But what I'm really seeing with this is you being able to shift from one way of believing or thinking into something that's more positive, more supportive, and more true. Yeah, I'm always a deep thinker, and my poor girls are always having to hear me out. Well, I would say this just lets you know that you're doing a good job if that's what you're already doing. I was thinking about negative thoughts last night, just pondering about the topic. Yeah. Well, let's just see if there's anything else. I'm going to go to this Oracle of Portals. Anything else Marlene needs to know about this message or anything just else? Magic. Oh, we have the magic mirror. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest of them all? And I know that's one of the Mandela effects. It's called magic mirror on the wall. And who's the fairest one of all? I think it's changed. It's changed completely. But and this really is about, if you look at that fairy tale specifically, about her talking magic mirror on the wall, about trying to maintain her youth and beauty, and she had to almost mimic or trick or glamour it into existence because the truth of who she was something much darker. And I'm not saying that that's you, but I'm saying what I'm seeing with this is you being able to look in a mirror or reflecting your own thoughts out to yourself to know, are these my thoughts, or are these, entities interfering? Is this collective consciousness getting in the way? Am I picking up on the fears of, humanity right now? Is this even mine? Especially when your thoughts go and then you ever think of something and then you're like kind of sitting there dazed out and just thinking, and then you're thinking a thought and you're like, how did I even get to thinking about that? How did I get thinking about that? And then you kind of trace your thoughts back to your original thought and like, oh, I went on a weird windy path through like all sorts of different topics and subjects, and somehow I ended up right here. So maybe you're kind of deconstructing your own thought process and realizing where maybe certain outside interference is getting in, and being able to clear and cleanse that with your own magical spiritual gifts and abilities. And if you're like, I don't know if I have any of those, you do. And using your intuition, using your imagination, and even playing pretend, is going to get you to be able to move through that. Because what these entities don't want is for you to have awareness that they're even there. They want you to think these dark thoughts are you, because you're going to listen to your own self and your negative thought process more than if you knew it was some entity telling you to do X, Y, or Z. You're going to listen to your own thoughts and think that they're your own. Way more than you're going to listen to, well, I think that's a dark entity telling me to do that, but okay, you're right, I'll do it. Like, no. So awareness really is half the battle. So when you do catch yourself in one of these thought spirals can sometimes be positive thought spirals, like when you're daydreaming, like that. But that's usually very in alignment with your own essence and your own spirit. It's not entities giving you these really positive, beautiful thoughts. It really isn't. But when you are just thinking, or you're just having a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety, a lot of weird like heart things, like heart's skipping a beat, heart's double beating. That's something that happens when there's a lot of solar activity too. So if you've been having a lot of that going on, just know that that's not you causing that. That's external to you, things that are mixing it up with your energy field. But yeah, I hope that helped. But yeah, if you're having these deeper topic conversations with your family and, people that are close to you, you're on the right track, because you're planting seeds, especially with your kids. You're planting seeds that eventually will really break the ground, surface, and they will blossom and bloom and grow. And you will just be so proud. So proud. Deep thinker, yeah. She does that with okay, I'm on this thought. And then look what we're ending with. I saw it in my mind's awareness, and there it is, just on the back of the deck as we're done, putting everything away. So I hope that resonated for you, Marlene. Thanks again for your donation. All right, so let me just double check that we are up to date with our donations here. We are, so we're going to get into the cosmic questions. If you do have a cosmic question you want to post today, go ahead and put it in the chat, and I'll take one new one. So the first one that gets posted, we're going to take that one and write it down and put it in the jar, and then we're going to draw a winner. They're all winners, but we're going to draw a question out of the jar. And if your question does not get selected, please don't feel sad, because next time we ask for another question, you can put it. So just don't forget it. Don't forget your question, because I might, because so much information's coming and going through my awareness all day, every day, that even if it's like the most amazing question, somehow, some way, it'll slip through my cracks here. So if your question does not get selected, but you want the answer to it, kind of maybe write it down next to your wherever it is that you are sitting or hanging out when we're on these live streams, so you remember and can post it next time or the next time or whenever. Oh, you're so welcome, Marlene. I'm glad you liked it. You're most welcome. Absolutely. So the first cosmic question that gets posted, we're going to write that one down today. Speaking of which, I'm going to cut some new papers. So I'm going to wait for you guys to get your, again, the first cosmic question that I see on my back end. Hopefully it's in the same order for you guys so that you don't feel like, oh man, I saw that I was first and you picked that question. I really hope that doesn't happen. All right. So here we go. I'm going to get my scissors out. Take two. Okay. All right. Oh my gosh. This is the sticky pair. Boston will bring his pomegranates up here to play games and use my scissors to cut them open. They're just sticky. Ugh. No thanks. Don't want to cut right. Well, these are going to take a run through the dishwasher today. All right. So actually, I'm going to set those there so I remember because I do not want to deal with that anymore. Okay. Let's get Amber's question written down. Truth about the organic moon, if there are any for the true organic earth. Okay. There are any for the Amber. Okay. Let's get this submitted and let's pull a question out of the jar. Very exciting. We can add if it was in the original blueprint. Oh, yes. Yes, let's do that. If there are any for the true organic earth in the original blueprint. I squeezed it in there. Okay. Boom. Okay. Let's move that incense along. Okay. Here we go. Today's winner is this one. I got it. I'm sure this one will go places. Oh, it always does, which I love. I love that. Okay. Well, it is Amber's question, but not the one you posted today. How can we deal with closing portals and keeping them closed? Oh, yes, we have been looking already at the Oracle of Portals today. So, mirror. We had that mirror card with Marlene's question. So we're going to use this to get us going, and of course the tarot. So I'm going to timestamp this so we do not forget. Itchy nose, lucky energy. So we have more power to close portals than I think we give ourselves credit for. So cosmic question today, we're at 108.33. Perfect. Okay. Here we go. So, how can we deal with closing portals and keeping them closed? Let's start with the portals, the Oracle of Portals deck. I think I have another. Let me look, because I'm seeing one in my awareness, even if it's not, it might be called activation something, but I know there's like portal cards in it. Let me get it. Gateway of Light activation. Yeah, this one. I know there are portal cards in here, so we're going to use this as well. But definitely to get us started, we're going to start with the Oracle of Portals. Boom, boom, boom. Holy cow. Ooh, okay. All right. Well, there definitely is a portal to the realm of the Fae. that are active and open. And I know for a fact, because when I was a child, I would come in and out of these portals just willy-nilly, like it was natural. So I know this is a thing, and it's usually those very young people that can easily and effortlessly go in and out of these portals without even realizing it, because it just feels like part of the world, you know? I've chills already, so we're going somewhere. And then we have sunset. So there are certain portals that are very active during the sunset time, wherever it is that you're at. Something with the way, because what I'm seeing in my mind's eye are like back in the world, back in the day, the cathedrals when they were first built, or cathedrals, cathedral. And I know what a cathode is, but I want to get the, Webster's dictionary, cathode, and tell you guys what this is. Okay. Because there was something with the old cathedrals, the way the windows were, that at certain times of day, certain lights would activate and work with whatever the energy of the cathedral was creating, was generating something. These cathedrals were not built as houses of worship, just FYI. I've already tapped into that before. But a cathode, the negatively charged electrode by which electrons enter the electrical device, the opposite of anode. The positively charged electrode of an electrical device, such as a primary cell that supplies current. So it's a way energy flows. So the way the energy flows can either open or close a portal. But sunset time is the time when most portals are active or deactivated, is what I'm getting. And then we have initiation. And it's almost like she's going into a portal with that initiation there. Like going into or through a gateway or a portal, because doesn't it look like almost like the gateway of this? Even though they're two different decks here. There's something about the sunset time that and people can be initiated. It's almost like you have to have the secret password, even if it's not an actual word. It's like an energy or a vibration to be able to access, close, open certain portals. So let's get to this deck, because we're gonna straight up ask, how to open and close. But portals, this is the thing. Portals can be opened very easily when, say, you are doing divination with your Ouija board. You don't even have to set an intention. That just automatically creates a portal for things, spirits, entities that should not be there. Some of them don't even want to be there, but somehow, the smoke was just coming to me, and it kind of scared me for a second. It was like right there. Where was I? What was I saying? Oh yeah, some of the entities or spirits that come through these portals don't even want to be coming through these portals, but somehow, some way they are summoned or like sucked. I'm seeing like this vacuum energy just sucking them right on through. And I just heard Break On Through to the Other Side by The Doors, Jim Morrison, 1967, I want to say is around the time that came out. Because if I remember correctly, Kurt Cobain was born that same year. That song came out on, I want to say it was January 1st, Break On Through to the Other Side. January 1st of 1967, Break On Through to the Other Side. And then Kurt Cobain on February 20th of that same year did just that. He broke on through and incarnated on this side. I don't know why Kurt Cobain's energy and Jim Morrison's song by The Doors is coming in. I don't know why, but it did. So there it is. Crystal Skull Wisdom, clarity, divine healing, high vibrational energy. So there are good portals. And every single person here has portals in their bodies as well. Your womb space, whether you're male or female, but especially if you're female, it's a physical representation of a portal. It brings spirits through from the other side. Also, your heart center is also a portal. Why do you think they work so hard to attack the heart space? Yes, and the womb space, especially for women. But yes, there can be good portals activated and open to, create a child, to create a song, to create anything creative. Your whole life is a creation, so it doesn't have to be what we would deem as a creative pursuit, but just you following your spirit's guidance is like you activating a portal to your own spirit to allow that energy to flow into your life. So whether we know it or not, all day, every day, we are closing and opening portals without even knowing it. So that's what's coming through real strong. And then we have Order of Melchizedek. Embraced by light, mission uncovered, and don't give up. So the more you connect to your own spirit, the more you have access to the other realms, the more you have access to your own spirit. Or better put, the more that your own spirit has access to you. Because you're the one, I mean, you are your spirit, obviously, but as far as the physical vessel through which your consciousness is kind of riding the waves of this life in, we are always connected to spirit, but it almost feels like it's like that spirit really being able to come in to this realm because it is such a dense and heavy realm. But let's get some tarot in the mix to see, because I think most of what you were wanting to know about were like dark portals. Yeah, vessel. A vessel is also a portal. Absolutely, absolutely. So let's just see, especially like negative portals. How can we deal with closing negative portals? How can we deal with closing negative portals? Knight of Swords. Literally just set the intention, rush in, and close it. That does not mean though it's going to stay closed. But just you saying, I rebuke you, you're not allowed to be open right now, you know, whatever it is, setting your intention will close it temporarily. Or at the very least, it will close your energy off from being affected by anything interfacing through that portal. So let's see what we need to know about dealing with closing negative portals. Three of Wands, taking action. And this card comes after some really heavy planning usually. This is not just, oh, let me right off into the sunset, charge through, make that thing happen. So it's almost like if we can, you know, there are times where, you know, emergencies rise up and like, oh no, I got to close this portal now. But don't just let that be the end all be all and think that portal is closed, because it'll come right back open the second you turn your back or the second you stop thinking of it. You can do it temporarily all day long, but then you'll have to keep doing it. So it's going to take a bigger plan of attack. Maybe even, I'm hearing safety in numbers. So there might be like a group. Yes, like a ritual. That's exactly what I'm seeing, is like where three or more are gathered. Something in the Bible about where three or more are gathered. Let me look that up because that seems very relevant to this portal, negative portal specifically. Let's see. So where three or more are gathered. Okay, let's read this. So it's Matthew 18:20. For where two or three are gathered in my name, but my name meaning we don't have to take the God of the Bible, which I know I'm going to get crap for this, but I really don't think that's the real original source creator. I think it's one of these fallen gods. Because even in certain places in the Bible, it's like, thou shalt not put other gods above me. Well, the God of the Bible is like saying there are other gods out there. Don't put any of them above me. Just saying. Just saying. For where two or three are gathered in my name, the original source creator, there am I with them. And if you think about it, if you are bringing your true spirit to the table, another person, you know, however many, 2 to 3 or more people gather with their true spirits and they're setting intention with their true spirit to make something happen, it has no choice but to happen. And it's kind of going in alignment with just if we as a human collective understood our power, everything, the matrix would dissolve overnight, or it would dissolve that instant. But again, it's if one person and then another person and another person, you know, we're kind of almost becoming these like activations around the world to hold that light and anchor that spirit to. So I guess the false matrix in and of itself is a negative portal. That's what I'm hearing. So That's fun for us. We kind of already knew that vibe anyway, right? We get it. We get it. uh yeah, and as far as keeping them closed, especially if we don't have a lot of people in our day-to-day reality that we can get physically gather with to close portals and them not think we have lost our minds, as the smoke is just coming right on over. So how can we keep these closed? How can we keep these negative portals closed once we close them initially? How can we keep them closed? How can we keep them closed? Look at all those hands as a group. It's like a whole crowd of people as a group. And see this sphere, I'm almost reading this as it is our energy and our ignorance at this point from, not everybody, but a lot of people. And even those who think, oh, I'm so awakened, I know this and I know that. Like, it's almost like our own spirit, like, lovingly laughs at us, like that little toddler who can walk and now they think they know everything. Like, that's how our spirit's kind of like, oh, isn't that cute? You think you figured it out. Even those of us who have awakened as much and as far as we have, know almost nothing about the nature of what true reality is. Even the nature of the matrix, what, quote unquote, matrix reality. Oh, isn't that cute? They think they know something. Like, that's what I'm getting is like, this is either so far out of the realm of our awareness or we're just not getting it quite. But what I see, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's at least 8 hands. Well, 7 hands, but I see, well, there's another one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. There's 7 hands, but then there's an arm here that doesn't lead to a hand and an arm here that doesn't lead to a hand. So the number 9 is about completion or hitting some sort of kind of harmonic convergence of everything aligning just so. And then the number 7 is about bringing in spirit. So there will reach a time, I do see this in our lifetime, where we will reach some sort of convergence point where enough people gather, whether physically or otherwise, just being gathered here in the matrix together and being awake and aware enough, even if it's not like fully online, just being awake and aware enough that we can keep certain negative portals closed for good. Let's see if we can get any other guidance or information about how we can deal with closing negative portals and keeping them closed, or just anything else we need to know about, especially the negative portals. Bowl. Plenty of material things. So it's like most of the material world or matrix exists within some sort of negative charged portal. I'm getting the word cathode again. So something about, but usually the negative charged, oh, there's that smoke again. Usually the negative charged electrons and stuff are better for our health than the positive ones. So it's almost like they've inverted, like they call them positive thoughts, but energetically speaking, it's the negative ions, the negative, whatever, that are more in alignment with our nature, if that makes sense. So again, everything here is inverted. So it's almost like we're re-inverting it. 2 cards fall down. So, wow. Queen of Swords, speak it into being. And 8 of Wands, quickly. Again, I'm seeing that energy as if enough of us figured out that we can say no to this matrix and just wipe our hands clean of it, it would dissolve instantly. Can we put bubbles in front of them to stop anything coming out? Let's see. Can we put bubbles in front of negative portals or around negative portals to keep anything from coming out? Wow, it's almost like there's a invisible force field around her that those swords can't penetrate. Do you see that? Absolutely. Yes, yes. And we also have the 9 of Cups, which is about wish fulfillment, getting the wish, in relation to that specific question and part of it. Even in ones in the mirrors, I put a bubble protection the same amniotic membrane to stop the entity or energy to come from coming out, even if it opens again. That's a great idea. Yeah. I think a few together on Zoom call will work. Right. I mean, again, where 2 or 3 or more are gathered, like that intention really, we're quantum beings, really. We're quantum beings. So we don't even need it. I mean, don't get me wrong, being in someone's physical aura is so powerful, but remote healing is a thing. Distance, having the awareness of something going on at a, 2,000, 5,000 mile distance can affect something that far away. So really time and space are irrelevant, but it's usually when we can gather physically that our human kind of ego is kind of coddled into thinking, oh, this is more powerful, if that makes sense. It's not that it truly is, it's just that we can feel it more in a physical way to where it actually feels more powerful than us just waving our magic wands around playing pretend on Zoom, or just setting as a world and trying to, although all of it is powerful and mystical and magical, but it's just us humans, we need like that physical tangible essence or proof to it to believe it. It's not, because to us as humans, a lot of times it's seeing is believing, not believing is seeing. And if we understood that believing is seeing, we could cut out a lot of blood, sweat, and tears with this thing and just fast track getting this matrix disassembled. For some reason, I'm wanting to go to this singles and relationship oracle. For whatever reason, I don't know why this has anything to do with it, but I just follow my guidance, so that's what we're doing. Oh. Again, we could dissolve it overnight, but so many people are too attached to tolerating abuse. I mean, does this not make sense? It's like we're addicted, not everybody, but a lot of people are addicted to being in victimhood, being in victim mode. Wow, too attached. It's, this is a partnership deck, so just, insert different words here. Give your partner some breathing room. Being too needy drives them away. And then tolerating abuse. Any kind of abuse is not okay. You deserve someone who treats you well. Well, we all deserve to not be in this matrix, but here we are. But we've been pretty much brainwashed into believing that this is all we deserve. But as we all start rising and healing and doing all our things on our end, that inspires others to do the same, others to do the ripple, ripple, ripple. And before we know it, we've really made something happen. Yeah, we'll no longer be compatible with the 3D matrix if we keep it up. That duality that we're seeing in this picture here can't exist anymore. And eventually things will get so far removed, that chasm, that Grand Canyon between one line of thinking and another will grow so far that those timelines or realms have no choice but to split and go their separate ways. It's like a divorce. We're divorcing the matrix. We're divorcing the matrix. Yes. Is it advisable to open a portal to the true organic authentic source creator? What I'm already getting, Amber, with that is we do that every single day by connecting to our spirit. It automatically connects a portal directly to our spirit when we set that intention. So we're already doing it. But if you want to set that intention and, make it even more exciting with a ritual and lighting a candle and, picturing it all happening as this big portal opening to your spirit, go ahead, because again, your imagination can make things even more fluffed up, in the best possible way. Yeah, slave of money, work, etc. While the controllers make us work and slog. Absolutely. But I want to get a card on that specific question, because I think that is it advisable to open a portal to the true organic authentic source creator, bring more of that light through? Is it advisable? And we did have that sunset card to set us out, so maybe we're using, and I know people, and myself included, kind of believe that I call it more like the local sun is kind of contained within this firmament of this contained matrix system, that it's not our true sun. It's more like a satellite that's just up there shining. The true sun, we still have access to more energetically than physically, if that makes sense. So it energetically working through maybe the original blueprint sun of this planet, to then bring, because just, really the sun, the original sun, not that little thing, white, really bright white ball of light we call the sun these days. The original sun was the birth canal of universes. This universe, that universe, the universe, So let's just see if we can connect through the original blueprint sun and bring through the original source creator to help us here. Big yes, but we got to be patient with it because, our beliefs, what we believe, we will create. If we're kind of like, oh, that sounds like a pipe dream, that would be nice, but we can hold ourselves back. So it really is about getting all of the limiting beliefs, everything you think throw it out the window, even if it's for good, for bad. I mean, it's like rude awakening from the awakening, and then another rude awakening from the awakening. It's just peeling off the layers of we thought we had it figured out. Now throw it all out the window, start all over. But yet at the same time, there are pieces and fractals of each next level of truth that we think we're learning that are the actual capital T truth that we can use each time we level up again, or step from one awakening and do another rude awakening, and la la la. We're gathering bricks and pieces and mortar to then build us a solid foundation of actual truth as we go. So it really is about being able to get comfortable with not knowing everything, but just continuing and continuing and continuing to bring your spirit in, bring your spirit in, bring your spirit in. Do everything with your spirit as your co-pilot, just everything. I set the intention anytime I'm looking to do something big in my life, like, applying for that job or going to the interview for that job. Like, my spirit was on deck. And obviously our spirit's already on deck, but when you set the intention and put your awareness toward your spirit, like, let's do this together, it strengthens that connection. It's like any relationship. If you're living in a house with, let's just say for sake of making things easy, it's just a husband and wife situation, no kids or anything. If you're living together, like, well, we're married, so I already know they like me. I don't really need to talk to them. They're there. I know they're there. So, is that going to be a very strong connection if you're just kind of like ships passing in the night? You're never really talking to each other. You're just kind of existing in the same space. Or is it going to be stronger if you're excited about something and you tell that spouse, oh, I'm so excited about this. And then they come tell you, like, I'm so sad. This one bad thing happened at work today. And you embrace and you give them that support. And then it's a back and forth, back and forth. You're building a bond. You're building a connection that's much stronger and more potent than that example where everybody's just kind of there, but nothing's really happening. I mean, the spirit's always there, but it can only go as far or connect as deep as you're allowing. And even when we have these like mind or ego based plans, like, I'm going to connect so deeply to my spirit that I'm going to send right on out of this joint. Even that, I think, can be stemmed in ego, but it's just about curating and cultivating very Seven of Pentacles energy of being able to really secure that connection by making it part of your daily routine. Not just once a day that you're connecting, but just in all moments. You're connected to your spirit. You're talking to your spirit. Your spirit is you. So it's not like you're having to go somewhere far away to find this spirit. It's within you already. So the way you talk to yourself, the way you take care of yourself, I mean, these are all ways you're including your spirit. Including yourself is including your spirit. Loving yourself is loving your spirit. Nurturing yourself is nurturing your spirit. So the stronger bond and connection you can create with yourself by default creates that bond and strength with your spirit. All right. I like that. I like that a lot. All right. Any closing statements? What else do we need to know? I meant while asking for help during removing entities that come for visit. Oh, let's ask that. Yeah, for sure. I'm getting a big yes on that as well. A big yes. Big yes can help. But let's just see if there's anything else we need to know about asking for the original source creator, our own spirit, all that to come in and help and assist with removing entities that come for a visit. Yeah. We can send them packing, literally. All aboard. It's time to write a new chapter. I mean, look at all that baggage that we can let go of just by calling on someone for help. And by someone, meaning the original source creator, our own spirit. We're not having to sit around and wait to have to unpack all this baggage ourselves. Because this original source creator, or our own spirit, whatever we're going to consider this big cruise ship, is going to come to the dock. There's probably going to be helpers on board coming to pick up all your bags, and then you just walk onto the ship. more figuratively speaking than literally. Closing statements, just anything else we need to know. Yeah, Four of Pentacles. Treat yourself to something. Shine every now and again. And I always pull a clarifier with the Four of Pentacles just because it is such a dualistic card. Either we're holding things too closely, too tightly, afraid we're going to lose something, or we're spending so willy-nilly we don't save anything for ourselves, energetically, monetarily, whatever. So let's bridge the gap. Where are we looking at with this Four of Pentacles in regards to our portal questions? King of Cups. Always compose yourself before giving a response. And that's not just in your own day-to-day relationships or situations. It's about how you're showing up with your spirit, how you're showing up in the matrix, how you're showing up with your divinity within the matrix, being in the world but not of it. So it really is about finding a balanced approach. And sometimes even doing all this healing and peeling gets exhausting. And after a while, we just need to take a break, because it can become overwhelming if we feel like, well, I'm only here to do all these spiritual things, and you're not actually, enjoying all sorts of things out there that are just, nature or connections with friends. And you're just like, I gotta get out of this matrix. And you're like becoming hyper-focused on just getting out of the matrix. You're going to miss so much learning and beauty that's available. So it's about finding peace and balance to live more comfortably here while we're here, but not completely dropping spirit, but also not completely dropping your real world life, just finding a balance and also bringing your spirit into everything it is you're doing, because this came out again, but it kind of did the sideways thing to where with this work and balancing, the material and the spiritual realms, you're going to be able to see things from a completely different perspective. And again, being in the world, but not of it, shining as this like completely outlier example of, oh, I don't have to just go to work and grind and pay my bills and still be in debt and then die at the end of my life. I can do it different, like this lady's doing, or that lady, or this guy. Because you're showing people a living example that you don't have to, you can be in the matrix, but not of it. Even if it looks on the surface like you're going through the motions of the matrix, you're finding deeper layers of connecting to your spirit to where eventually, and I don't know how exactly this is, and it's not being made clear through spirit, through my awareness here. Eventually, we won't need all of the matrix trappings of paying bills and needing money to survive. And, well, if you don't have money or whatever, you're just going to be out in the woods, out in the boonies, living off the land, hurting yourself, and you're going to like cut yourself cutting wood, and then you're going to die. Like, no. It feels like we're going about it in a way that we can still live comfortably within. Again, it's almost like the matrix just ceases to exist at some point to where everything's in balance and we're supported. I don't know how exactly that's coming about, and maybe that's a topic for another time. But yeah. But anyway, I think that's going to do it for us today. I'm going to go have some lunch. Boston's actually the one home today, sick with a sore throat. So I'm going to go check on him, make sure he's doing good. Yeah, this was fun. Kind of a more subdued cosmic question. Not as many like mind-blowing things, but yet still there was. I don't know. I like what we got, because this lets us know we actually have more power. Again, just by setting our intentions, putting like, this almost looks like a bio shield she's put around herself to allow anything coming from certain portals from getting to her. Wow. So powerful. All right. Well, everybody, I hope you have a wonderful and restorative, that's the word I'm looking for, like restful, restorative, regenerative, in the best possible way weekend for yourself. And thanks again, you guys, so much for all those likes, comments, shares, subscribes, donations, and all the things. And I really, truly do hope to see each and every one of you right back here at Harmony Portal Tarot Live. Much love, peace, and I will see you next Wednesday. All right, you guys, bye.